Yeah! Here we go!
Here we go, KR. Before we discuss the main topics of today, I want to get your thoughts on an interesting article, well, crazy article actually, I saw last week. We have to be living in a simulation, KR.
Yo, what?
Let me just show
What
you
a
the.
2 minutes, not even 1 minute in, you're already going off the
No,
rails.
we have to be. Let me just show you the caption here. Girlfriend mad at boyfriend. That boyfriend dated women half his age.
And she's
So,
one of them. Let me guess.
well,
Okay,
so recently I found out my boyfriend uh, had romantic encounters with
Mhm.
multiple women half his age. I'm really having an emotional reaction to it.
What's his age? Just stop there.
He's 49 now,
Okay, so he
but
was talking about 40.
yeah, 40, I guess. It doesn't really say how old he was
Okay.
back then, but
Make
it
sure
was
so we don't. You're not reading R. Kelly's story right here in front of everyone. I'm just making
no,
sure you don't get us hemmed up.
don't worry. I don't have his diary.
Okay.
In any case,
Just so
I'm really stop it, stop. Let it go, man. Um, I'm really having an emotional reaction to it. My boyfriend is 49 and I'm 37.
Mm,
The reason why I'm having an emotional reaction to it is mostly because I see these women in my life intermittently. So I guess they live in the same vicinity or something, or maybe it's
mm,
a small community.
mm.
My boyfriend and I have had conversations that I don't agree morally about his decisions.
Okay.
I told him that although it is legal, it was his job to say no to the women who are so young and vulnerable. Let me stress that these women were young in their
Of
no,
age.
they were in their young 20s. So I'm
Okay.
guessing 20, 21, 22,
So
23, maybe
so
24.
so she's the frontal lobe theory type of person.
Well, let me
Continue.
continue. I also want to say, I'm gonna leave this one for later.
Okay.
Uh, uh, I told my boyfriend how I felt, and he just doesn't agree that he did anything wrong because it was all legal. Legal or not,
Consensual. Not only that.
yeah, but legal or not, the woman
Mm,
continues, a man twice a woman's age, a girl's age, should not be intimate, in my opinion.
mm,
Maybe that's just how I feel.
mhm.
That's why I'm here asking others if you think it's acceptable. Please help me deal with my feelings and let me know if I'm just overreacting or if my feelings are justified. So tell me, am I crazy? Thank you, Reddit. So um I
What's the
said,
part you left out?
okay,
Or are
so
you gonna leave it? Or are you gonna
well,
say that?
well, well, let's just start here first. What do
Uh-huh.
you think about just the whole dating in general? So dating women half your age, legal, of course.
Yo,
Uh,
wait a second. I cannot date women half my age
no,
legally.
no,
Come on, what are
no,
you
but, no, I'm saying so. That's why I'm saying legally. So,
trying to get
uh,
me some kind of case?
no, I'm not asking you. I'm just asking
Okay,
in
okay.
general.
In
What?
general,
So it's more like a age gap
it's an age
thing,
gap.
right? Yeah.
Yes,
Do you
yes.
think that there's like a max where it should be acceptable, or
If everything is consensual, what are we talking about?
okay? This is just the first
Don't
part, KR.
forget,
So
don't forget these days we have a recently basketball player who shot the club up of a grandmother.
two,
Two actually, yeah, two
two.
grandmothers. So people out here, I mean, it's the other way as well these days. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
women-
there's a stigma, right? So there's definitely a stigma when men do it versus when women do it. And remember, this is just the first part. I just wanted to. Usually, I tell the whole story, but now
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
telling you
you
in two parts.
okay? You're
So
gonna
there's
tell
still a
me.
second
So
part to
you're
come
trying to
because
set me up, basically.
no, I'm not trying to set you up. But in
No, no,
general,
no, no,
but I just want to, like, let's say, get a baseline reaction.
no. Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Do you think that there should be like a,
A gap max
well, not
penalty.
yeah, especially relating to younger. So let's say a girl or woman in her 20s, like early 2020s. Do you think that you should, let's say, more, so there's a moral obligation to not date someone half your age, you being then approximately 40?
At what age? At what age is someone an adult and can make a decision by themselves?
Yeah, well, the law says it's 18 for certain things in the US. So all over the world, it's 18. Or no, a majority of countries is 18. In the US, it's depends, right? So
I'm talking about you can make your own decisions. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not
yeah,
talking
well,
about
yeah,
legal.
but we're talking about legally, right? So legally, you should be able to, because that's the whole point. So the argument here is you have, so it's legal, but it's not something that's legal,
I'm not talking about the legal
not
part.
necessarily moral.
I'm talking about at what age is someone can
I,
make grown-up decisions.
I don't know. I think
At
I don't know.
18,
I don't think there's
19.
like a fixed age. Actually, it depends per person.
Yeah, if you're I almost went the
You
oh
almost well, well,
let's continue before I go off the rails.
yeah. So well, so in any case, so that's just the issue, right?
Okay.
So it's a
Okay.
moral issue. It's not like a
Yeah, yeah,
legal issue, right? But okay, now, because of course you've been waiting for the other shoe to drop.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
There are some things that uh one thing I left out that I think is very important, right?
Okay. I
So the whole thing about this, so this story, this is the first part
mm-hmm.
uh of the story. And the part I left out is the following. So she talked about there being like a moral obligation, right?
Mm-hmm.
To that the man had a moral obligation not to do so, etc. Okay. But this is the part I left out. Let me stress. So what I did say was, let me stress that these women were in their young 20s, just as to give the context in which the following sentence was written. Not spoken, okay, or written. So that means she wrote it down, read it, and pressed okay.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to say that I lost my virginity to a man who was twice my age.
It's always this way.
So-
Always this way. It's always the same. It's always the same story. I cannot make this. Where's Kevin? Where's Kevin when you need him? Where's Kevin?
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
It's always. I could have told you before. Something I knew my gut. I knew that this is the second part. But continue. Or is this everything?
well, there's a, let's say, the second part, like an update, but this is, so
I
this was
hope.
everything
I
relating to
hope
the,
it was. Okay. I hope she was. Anyway, let's continue.
yeah. Um and then she reacted, because of course people reacted to her
Mhm,
first post, and
mhm.
this is what she said.
Let me
So
choose.
the reactions were, so your boyfriend, who is 12 years older than you, likes younger women? You don't say.
Oh man.
And someone reacted, you could tell it to her face, and she'd look at you and say that she's not talking about herself. Another person, I don't know, I feel like a decade or so difference when you're both basically middle age isn't that bad compared to a middle aged person and a very young adult. So they're saying the age gap isn't a problem as long as it's, but that's like starting at a certain age. So double or triple is okay. Well, triple, nah, I can't see triple. Double is
That's what
okay.
happens.
Yeah, it does. Al
I can
Pacino,
tell
but
you which one. No. Al Pacino Al Pacino is not 90. Al Pacino is 80. But it's close.
yeah.
What's the name
Well,
again?
the
With the
girlfriend's
with
name,
the with the big melons.
the breastesses.
Anna
Um,
Nicole Smith.
yeah. What about her?
She married
Oh, yeah.
she married a very old guy.
Yeah.
I'm that old. I'm that old as well, so I can remember.
another person reacted. I'm just gonna go through some reactions and then to her update, right?
Mhm,
Because she made an update based on the reactions. If
mhm,
he doesn't fit your moral views, then you shouldn't be with him. It could be this topic or any other topic that you feel
mhm.
strongly about. A lot of people agree with that as well. Another person, he's 12 years older, so he clearly likes younger women and so on. So, but a lot of people were saying like, hey, he's 12 years older than you. That seemed to be the that seems to be the thing, right? And
Yeah.
then her update was, wow, I did not expect this post to blow up as it did. Yes, I knew there was an age gap, but me being almost 40 and him 12 years older, I did not see an issue as we're both older adults. Note, what she did was she's 37.
Mhm.
In order to make it make sense, she added 3 more years to say she's almost 40. So then 40 and 52 is less. Well, I guess that's a lawyer in me that sees this flaw. My boyfriend, who was engaging with very young 20-year-olds before we were together, is an issue for me. Plus, 20 years when a woman is in young 20s is disgusting to me. When I lost my. Oh,
V card.
yeah, that in her case, it was different because in her case, she was a minor. So that's a.
You see what I said? I
Yeah.
hope it was. I didn't want to say the word, but I
Yeah,
hope
yeah.
it was. Jesus Christ.
The older man being a very with very much younger women would be a huge deal. So she does have like this
But
background that she's talking
it's not. It's
background
not.
experience.
That's not her problem. Wasn't the fact she is actually mirroring, projecting her life on these other women, and she's trying to put him into parallel to whatever happened to her before in her life.
Yeah.
That's what's happening here.
But he does go on and say that the man has dated man is women is old age as
Let
well
me guess, it's Diddy.
as well as
Okay.
old
No,
as
no.
well as older women.
Allegedly.
So but the thing that pops up the thing, so that's one thing that pops out, as you said. And the other thing that pops out, that stands out, I mean, is that not only her own experience, that's the one thing, but the second thing that stands out is that she said, I'm having an emotional reaction to it, mostly because I see these women in my life intermittently. So insecurity might also play a role.
Yes, probably. I think that might play a role indeed. Um, it plays a role, but I think the biggest role is the projecting part, where the which is kind of weird as well if she's still with him. At the end, I think I don't have any big um, the age gap thing. I think I sent you a topic last a DM think last week saying basically people talked about the same three topics 12 months of the year. So
Yeah.
this is also the same topic. I think to me it's a non-issue. If people like each other and they think they are compatible and they are really compatible,
Yeah.
it's their choice at the end of the day. That's why I asked the key question: what is the age someone can make adult decisions? According to, that's why I said the frontal lobe theory, according to those people it's about 23. So
Hmm.
technically at 23 you should be able to make, but the problem with frontal lobe, it seems like the way they talk about it, it's like a magic out of nowhere you can make adult decisions. It's not like that. You grow into that. So by the end of 23, 24, you are fully developed. But in the meanwhile, between 18 and 23, you can still make adult decisions throughout those years. It's just not fully developed during that time. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's yes, that's true. But some people don't even develop it.
yeah, but you're
And
talking
so
about the exceptions prove the rule.
well, this is what I'll say, KR. you see more and more that women are doing it as well. And there is this double standard, but there's always double standard. That's not the issue. What I think is important to keep in mind is that the age, it's the legal rules are there just to create some kind of order. But at the end of the day, you can't cover every topic. You can cover every situation in laws, in regulations, and rules. So there will always be like a there the 20-year-old or 22-year-old who started working since she was 16, who lived on her own since she was 18, who is a very independent person, went through some hardships, came out of it alive, alive, successfully, learned from the lessons, and have like the intelligence and experience versus someone who's never developed, was always set
Kept, so as they say, someone that's
capped.
kept.
Yeah, they that capped early, never developed herself, etc. So there are various kinds of 23-year-olds, but there are also various kinds of 50-year-olds. I know 50-year-old men who are, and women for that matter, who are still acting like teenagers. So it's like the age is one thing, but I get it's something that has to be judged in a case by case
Same.
basis. In
So
any
it's
case, love is love, man. Ask well, no, don't ask the person I wanted to suggest people asking because
that's what R. Kelly said. Anyway, let's continue.
yeah. Well, that being said, hey KR, let's go to the first. Well, start discussing the
How you
first
doing?
the topics of the day first. We of course want to welcome the Double Thought supporters to another edition of the Double Thought Show. In today's show, we're going to talk about the Fani Willis judgment, or at least the decision by the court, whether or not to remove Fani from the Trump case. We're going to talk about Tiffany Henyard, City Girl Mayor. We're going to talk about Lamor-Whitehead, that's KR's spiritual leader. We're going to talk about Sean King.
I'm gonna leave that. No, I'm gonna let you slide on that one.
We're going to talk about Sean King.
Sean
Uh,
King.
Sean King, who made a change in religion. And we're going to talk about a small dispute between Ye, aka Kanye West, and Cenat, the very popular streamer. Hey, before we proceed, remember, guys, to hit the subscribe button and notification bell. Remember to like the video, comment, let us know your thoughts and opinions, whether you agree or disagree with us. And of course, don't forget to share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies as well. With that being said, we can start discussing the first topic. Funny, can you hear me?
Let's do this.
Let's do
Funny,
this,
can you
man.
do something for me?
Can you twerk a little bit for me? What? What?
Well,
You open that door, I'm gonna walk through it.
I think she opened it with the gorilla grip.
Oh
Uh,
man.
the sexy red. What was it? The sexy red.
I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. I heard about the Gorilla Grip story. I
The
don't know if
gorilla.
that's fake or not, but I think when you hear Gorilla Grip, you start wondering.
Is that what got Nathan Wade caught up?
Nathan Wade got caught up by Gorilla Grip Fanny, man. Gorilla Grip Fanny. That's maybe how we should call her these days from now on. Gorilla Grip Fanny. Hey,
Yeah.
man, as the headline says, Judge blasts Fani Willis, but rules she can stay as the lead in this case against Trump. Yeah, man, it's I think we let's start from the beginning. Started earlier last week where basically he split up his decision in two parts. He first released his opinion on his ruling, not opinion, his ruling on the case itself, meaning can the case continue forward or can the case does the case has to be dismissed. During that, he basically removed six of the 41
Counts.
counts charges. One of them was, I think, one of the charges was that Trump tried to solicit officials to do their job, to not do their job, something like that. And later that week, on Friday, last Friday, basically, he gave the ruling on the Nathan Wade, Fani Willis relationship or situationship or gorilla grip ship.
Correct.
Hey
Yeah.
man, yes.
Yeah. So, in short, the judge didn't find that there was any conflict of interest that should prevent Fani from continuing as the prosecutor of the, or at least as the DA
Mhm.
of the case against Trump and all the other defendants, his other co-defendants. But the judge was of the opinion that it was, and I paraphrase it in a non-legal term, a cesspool. And
Yeah.
because of it, because of the all the negativity and all the things that didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen, because no one could prove that there was a relationship prior to Fani hiring Nathan Wade, but no one could prove that there wasn't either. The problem is that the ones that were accusing, so the side of the defendants that were accusing, the Trump and or the co-defendants, they were the ones that had to provide the evidence, like solid evidence, and they couldn't do so.
Burden of proof.
Yeah, they had the burden of proof, and so they couldn't do so convincingly. However, the judge was of the opinion that the situation, or is of the opinion, I should say, that the way they conducted was not, it caused a lot of unrest and a lot of speculations and so on. And so to maintain the integrity of the DA's office, or what's left of it, two things were suggested. Either Fani would and her whole team would remove themselves from the case and let someone else take over, or Nathan Wade had to resign. Or they didn't say resign, Nathan Wade had to be removed from the team.
The Maya sacrifice.
Yeah. And when I read it, I knew, based on what I saw in the courtroom that day when Fani testified, that Fani never made an easier decision in her life. Drop the dead weight.
He
The
was.
the praying mantis.
Hey, before we
After
continue,
she's done, she'll get rid of you. Yeah, man, continue.
no, but that's true. After she's done, she'll get rid of you, like a real gorilla does. Anyway, in the ruling of the Superior Court, the Judge Scott McAfee, he said basically, like you said, he said the following: for a he slammed Fanny for, and I keep saying Fanny because you know why I say Fanny. I told you off screen. I'm not gonna say it on screen because otherwise might get
Yeah.
flagged for this one. Has to do with the gorilla grip. Anyway, tremendous lapse in judgment and for acting unprofessional in an unprofessional
Mhm.
manner. I think we talked about this also in the previous show, where we basically broke down what was wrong in this whole cesspool. And the judge basically kind of agreed with us, even though we basically said it's better for her to be removed because of the possible connection between the two. But I mean, the judge was clear that there was not enough evidence, and the actual conflict of interest was not enough to. There was no real conflict of interest.
Conflict
But
of
I do
interest.
think conflict of interest, yeah. But I do think that I mean, the case is not over, right? It's not. I mean, the case is. I mean, this part of this phase of the case is over, but Fanny will still have to go to a couple of other organizations, or you can call them groups. She has to go to the bar to explain a couple of things. She will also have to report to the I think it's called the higher court or something like that, where they're gonna ask her questions, basically to who she reports to as a DA, because of course anyone has a
As a
always
boss.
as a boss.
Everyone has a boss, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's true. And the judgment, so that this whole phase of the procedure was a side, let's say a side proceeding, right? It's just the
yeah,
main cases are the cases that the DA's office is has started against Trump and all his co-defendants. That's the main case, and in that case, so one of the motions were to remove Fani for the reasons
yeah.
mentioned in in the judgment, and in that, so that was the essence, the premise of the case. Is there enough reason to terminate or at least to forcibly
Mm.
remove her from prosecuting Trump and the co-defendants? And the answer to that question was no, based on the ruling of the judge. But as you said, Fanny would still need to give explain some things to other people because as a DA, she has a public office, so she needs to report it. But I don't think that I don't think much will come out of it. Why? Well, although I did understand that you have, because in the US you have like, it's very, it's an elected office, it's an elected seat, and the people she needs to respond to are a majority Republicans. But at the end of the day, I also saw that she's running for another term as DA. I don't think this is going to affect her career more than it already did, to be honest. I don't expect her to be removed, but
She won't recuse herself, that's for sure.
no, of course not. She's too proud because these are all lies. But
Oh,
but
is the
yeah,
gorilla grip also a lie?
I have no. That's what she's saying, right? In
Come
any
on, man.
case, whatever whatever the results, whatever her perspectives will be as it relates to her career, one thing is for certain, and that's that she will always have this stain
Yep.
in her career.
Lapse,
It's
it's
just
lapse of judgment. It
lap,
will lapse of judgment.
lapses.
Lapses, yeah, this is multiple ones. Yeah. They will always stay in your career. And I think one thing you talked about also in the previous show. I mean, that show was pretty good, and I would recommend everyone to check it out. You talked about the aspect of the election. The judge is elected, the DA is elected. Don't forget the judge, which is Scott McAfee, is a white guy who's a judge in a primarily black county.
Mhm.
Guess what? He's not gonna remove Fanny of this case because otherwise he can say goodbye to his job next time
Yeah.
around. So
Maybe that also plays a role.
it played
And that's
it's
the
not
that's the
a definitive role, but it's gonna always gonna play a role
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's politics. At the end of the day, it's a bit of a politics. I mean, at the end, yeah, yeah.
No, I think that's I think you said everything. It's so I said I don't think it's going to last. I don't think it's going to have any negative effect in her future, but I think that the yeah, it's just that's just the choice. Now the question is as it relates to Nathan Wade, because I think his life is over. His career might be over. Let me put it
Story
like
might
that.
be over after this one.
N- Not as much as his former law firm partner.
Yo, what's his name again?
I don't know. I
Joe,
don't
what's
care.
his name?
I don't know. In any
Okay.
case, Nathan Wade is the Nathan Wade seems to be the one that has lost everything
Yep.
because lost a good job, $650,000. Maybe he's still getting the money. Maybe he's not. Um, maybe he's getting it prorated, so that means less trips. But also, he also has a bad rep now.
Yep.
So yeah,
Is he
was
going
it
to
worth
be
it?
well, that's a good question. Was it worth it? Is he going to be now a lawyer who will stand, give out his card, and say, if you have any any case relating to injury, please call Nathan Wade.
Yeah, maybe.
Injury lawyer. Who knows, man? I mean, I think you're definitely right on this. I mean, his reputation has been tarnished. Um, and again, this is not going to be the last case or the last hearing about this stuff. So Fanny will still have the protection of, let's say, the party in a sense. After this, he's out of the open. So, like I said, his life is probably over. Probably over. I hope he can find another way to make his money because otherwise, in 10 years, we'll people will make a documentary about what happened and this dude is on the streets.
Yeah,
It's a shame, though. It's a shame. I
yeah,
mean, everyone they
and
should have known better. They
yeah,
should have known better.
yeah. And I think it's also important to keep in mind that Trump's team and the co-defendant strategy in a situation like this was not maybe for us it seems, or at least we can think that it's a loss, and I do think that they consider it a loss because they want to have her removed, so that's why they will try to fight the decision as much as possible. But this is also a tactic to prolong the decision as much as possible, to mess with the DA, to and the DA's office. The DA's so public entities, governments have very limited resources. And so if you have a lawyer that's in the private sector can earn way more than a lawyer that's in the public sector. Furthermore, Trump can put 50 lawyers on his case. And there's a budget cap. Uh, and governments always have budget caps. So you always have a situation where the best of the best, or usually you have the best of the best, prefer working in the private sector because there they get more money. So they're the ones defending Trump and his co-defendants. So that means, and they get their more incentive, more money, and so on and so forth. They can bill like crazy versus the lawyers working for the prosecutor's office and the DA who might not be getting that much. So we might think, oh, Nathan Wade got a 650,000 deal, but in Trump's camp, they're getting millions. It's a different world. So the best ones go in the private sector, and they have more power. And Trump and the co-defendants can always pay more. So if they need 60 instead of 50, they'll just pay for 10 more. If they need 70, they'll pay for it. And it's going to be very they this is a tactic to make the prosecution's team overwhelmed. And I think that, I mean, if you look at one of the decisions, or at least the fact that Judge McAfee already dropped a couple of charges, saying, for example, that hey, these charges are too vague. Yes, if it's too vague, so the defendants can protect themselves, can defend themselves adequately, etc.
Would
So
it be
this
a
is
lie?
what?
You didn't say it's a lie, but it's vague. But if you're being vague, what's the difference between vague and a lie?
So being vague is like me saying to you, so me saying to you, for example, and this was one of the charges, the one you remarked, you mentioned about soliciting public officials. If I tell you you solicited public officials, you solicited, you solicited public officials to vote a certain way. How will you be able to defend yourself? You can't, because I didn't tell you which public officials. I didn't name any names. I didn't mention a time. I didn't mention the specifics. So how will you be able to adequately defend yourself? And those were the nature of some of the charges that were dropped. So it's not necessarily a lie. And just by the way, using the words lie and truth in law, I mean, you always take it with with grains plural of salt, because in law is what you can prove. That's what matters. And so
Mm.
it's not necessarily a lie, but it's just, hey, you just threw something in here. It didn't stick. So it's purely a because it didn't comply with certain rules relating to proving your statements, your claims, I have to say, that were used to drop the charges.
So Fanny's saying it's all a lie. It's a beach, basically. That's what you're trying to say.
It's all a lie. It's a beach.
Grains.
Ah, it's a beach. Yeah. You can see it like that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
No. It was the other way around. No. So I'm talking right now not about Fani. I'm talking right now about the charges dropped against Trump and the co-defendants.
Yes, but I made the bridge.
Yeah.
We're at the other side of the bridge now.
Okay.
I was
Right.
trying to set up a joke, but
Okay. Yeah. Fine.
anyway. Hey man, let's see what happens, man. I think you're right on the part that it's a way to slow down the DA's office a bit, because of course now it took almost 2 months to at least a month to get this out, and it's still a month less for them to proceed with the regular case, and we still have the elections coming up, so it's gonna be very tight for them
Yeah.
to get a anything before the elections.
Yeah. It's gonna be very tight, and I think that Trump will win probably.
I don't
Um,
know that. I don't know that.
I think he will win, and if he loses, I know we can expect Trump
Oh,
versus Fani round two.
we might see this guy get locked up for real, for real.
But to me, it's impossible to vote. I mean, you can't be that loyal to your party. It's not. I understand that both. I
You'd
understand
be
that
surprised.
candidates are. I understand that candidate. I understand party loyalty, but I also think that you should pick the best candidate, or at least the least, the one that will cause you the least liabilities.
The the,
And
the,
I
the
think a
one that will
president
damage you
that
when
will
they start
yeah.
inserting things into
So
you.
yeah, so I understand the first time around. I don't think that they wanted Biden to win. I think that people didn't want Trump to win, and so they voted for Biden.
No, but I
But
think it's the same
eh,
gonna be the same now.
but I think that you should really look at the current state that we are in.
Yes.
We need, with we, I mean the West. The West needs a strong USA,
Yeah.
because a strong USA is what's holding the West together.
Hey, not a lot of people realize that. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
They hope for people always see the short end, right? They don't see the full spectrum. They only see like a small part,
yeah.
which is I don't like the guy what he says, and I think well you're a rational person, and then we're gonna close this topic. You're a rational person. I think half of the people voting to start with are not rational.
Yeah,
so so chances are it's gonna be a close race yet again.
yeah.
Um, talking about close races, City Girl Mayor or Dictator of Dalton. Maybe that's how we should call her these days. The Putin of Dalton, trying to silence an SA accuser. Apparently, she is now also into the suppressing of other people. Um, according to the story, she made her first appearance at the Thornton Township Hall meeting Tuesday night amid the allegations of SA and retaliation. I mean, we know she's been retaliating already. The Department of Human Rights is investigating complaints against her office. Accusations include SA, retaliation, and discrimination stemming from an economic development trip to Las Vegas. Henyard is calling herself first super mayor. She's gonna be the first super prisoner. Left the meeting without taking a single question, as reported by NBC Chicago. We in the she talks. Oh my god. We in the news. No, it's not. We are in the yo. This is crazy. They really wrote it down without the exactly the way she said it. We in the news every single day. I'm the first. I'm the first super mayor. We in the news every day. Well, don't think it's a good thing that you're in the news every day as a mayor. You should be in the background. But okay, some people are there to see their faces on banners every day. She's
Mhm.
probably one of them. This is the second. I mean, she continues to uh well. Let's start first with this one. What do you think about this situation?
So, from what I understand, there are recordings. Now, it's not clear to me whether this conversation was specifically recorded, but what's being alleged is that she, someone on her team, has committed SA, and when the victim tried to talk about the situation, she tried to silence it, saying that, listen, this can ruin my campaign or something like that. And that news came out. I think it's a very bad look. I think it's an extremely bad look, actually. But I think that this is just one of the very things that the alphabet boys will use against her when preparing a criminal case against her. Because, like we talk about every day, before someone like this gets prosecuted and gets sentenced, a lot of small things happen because you can do it from one day to the other. So because she is so unlikable, because she is forcing people to do things that they don't want to do, because she's basically bullying the people of Dalton with her uh, by using the police force as her personal bodyguard and allegedly enforcer, a lot of people want her gone. And so the worst position to be in as a leader is a position where all or a majority um, of the people who you need to serve are willing to work day in and day out to see you gone. They don't like you, and instead of they don't feel like they're being listened to. And so this is just one of many things that they will use against her. But I think the image that she's trying so hard to portray, that the people are against her, they're basically haters, that is slowly but surely crumbling down. And you can
Yeah,
argue whether it's gonna happen slowly, because I think it's gonna happen a bit faster than slowly.
yeah. I don't know when she's up for re-election. Is also in November? Not sure, but I think I'm curious how the people in Dalton will vote the next time around, because she has been doing a lot of weird stuff. One of them is like I think that's the most crazy one, where she basically said, if I'm in that position, it's getting a payment of, I think, 90,000, and if I'm not in that position, it lowers to 20,000. That is wild. That's a wild statement. The Dictator of Dolton also misused city money for Glam team, according to another article. I mean, she stays in the news, as she says. She's the super mayor, so super mayors always stay in the news. She spent about $7,650,000 on hair and makeup for taking office. After taking office, my bad, but listed Glam Team as an assistant when bidding the city for it.
That's fraud.
It sounds like it, yeah.
Hey, but this is also in Georgia, right?
No, no, no.
Chicago. Just
Chicago,
is the Illinois. Illinois.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, close enough. It's like
Yeah.
that doesn't disprove that doesn't disprove my point.
So,
I
what's your
always think
point?
uh, I always think it's unfortunate that people who black people like this get exposed,
Mhm.
because we always say that we want some things, and I think it's very important to have. So I believe that it's important for a kid to see someone that looks like him or her, and says, "Hey, I want to be that someday. I can be that someday." I think that is very important. I don't believe that should be done by using a quota. I think it should be like a 5% should be black. I think it should be
Mm,
done by putting the best person in that seat.
yeah.
And it's unfortunate to see a lot of these people just effing up a great opportunity, not only for themselves, but they basically losing out on people who might look up to them, because it's a
Mhm.
disappointment to see, your hero do a thing. Imagine if Obama got the presidency and started talking reckless and doing things that he wasn't supposed to do. It would have been harder for people to say, "Hey, um, this person is a good. You can be that someday." And it's not whether you agree or disagree with his stance in politics, etc., but it's just about the perception to
Mhm.
have a black man there in a suit, a black man, allegedly American, in a suit, standing there.
Oh man.
Standing there, it is important. It is important. Whether you agree or disagree, it is important. And to see a black mayor like that, like Tiffany Henyard, doing what she's doing, there are probably nine. For every Tiffany Henyard, there are probably nine other black women who are really doing the job the way it's supposed to
Doing
be done.
good. Yep. Yep.
Unfortunately, it's these
You
people
won't
that
see them.
No, you won't see
It's
them.
always the ratchets that get in front of the story,
Yeah.
in front of the
What
camera.
what did the roof do? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Mama, I love you. It's
POP.
always those people.
Yeah, it's always the same, right? And then these people try to act like if we don't stand by them. Well, she said it herself. If you're not with me, you're part of the opposition.
Yeah.
She didn't say it exactly that way, but it's basically that's what she's saying. If you're not with me, if you're not as a great philosopher once said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. I don't remember the philosopher's name. I just remember the quote.
Yeah.
That should be enough of a hint for you to know who said it. Anyway, hey,
Another philosopher said she carries hot sauce in her bag.
and then she asked whether she needed also a lab a melon.
Watermelon. Come on.
Watermelon.
Watermelon.
Oh my god.
They
Yo.
play, but they all play. I mean, that's a politician's job, man. In any case, hey,
Making mockery of stereotypes.
what?
Is that a job of a politician? Taking a stereotype and trying to get
Hey,
trying
it's
to get
it's basically saying what people want to hear in order to get the votes. That's basically what it is. Hey, man. I also want to talk a bit about your boy, your spiritual leader.
my boy. Hey man,
Uh,
Lamar Bishop Bling or Lamar Whitehead.
Bling,
When
baby.
I first heard the name, I thought Lamar Whitehead. I was like, "What are they talking about?" Lamar Odom. No, just kidding. But Lamar Whitehead, we talked about him like 2 weeks ago, or was it last week? I'm not sure, but
I think it was last week.
he was charged with fraud, and basically, this sorry mofo got got convicted for stealing 90K
Mhm.
from a parishioner, and using the money to buy luxury items, trying to extort as well a businessman for promising favors from New York City Mayor Eric Adams in return for lucrative deals.
Mhm.
He was convicted on 2 counts of wire fraud, 1 count of attempted wire fraud, and 1 count of attempted extortion. Each carry maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. I think it's a good thing that this guy is off the street.
I think so too. I think so too. I really have so fraudulent people are always going to be there. Shady people are always going to be there. But I have a particular problem with people using God, religion, and or spirituality in their schemes. Because when you use God, spirituality, religion, um, you basically you basically attract people who give you a certain place in their lives, right? A place of authority in their lives. And for
Yep.
you to do something like that, it's disgusting. It's despicable.
Yes.
He should be ashamed. And I'm very happy that he's locked up, or at least he's gonna get locked up. Um, and this is also a matter of time because the stories have been going around of him doing what he's doing. But I guess, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, your actions will catch up to you.
It will. It will. And to be honest, I'm gonna go my at this point, if you guys have watched the show, I tend to blame the victim. That's at least that's what I've heard. I tend to put accountability on the victim because the victim should have known. I'm gonna read something to you, RJ. I'm not victim blame. I'm just saying do your research on whoever is your pastor or whoever you're gonna give some money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read this to you, and you tell me if you would give this person a penny, $1, $2, or just the uppercut against the chin.
Mhm.
Miller-Whitehead was a pastor at the Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries, which he helped form after serving 5 years in prison. Guess what he did?
What? Right.
Identity theft and grand larceny.
No, man.
He lived in a 1.6 million dollar mansion in New Jersey City of Paramus and owned several apartment buildings in Hartford, Connecticut. In July, he made headlines when he was robbed of 1 million in jewelry in the middle of his church service. People were saying that that was a setup, probably. Well, I think I've heard that they caught the person who did it. But yeah, this guy did his time for identity theft and grand
And
larceny.
larceny.
I always say this. There are two types of in my brain, in my head. There's two types of crimes. There are crimes you do by hand, and you do the others you do by brain. What do I mean by that? If you rob someone physically, to me that's by hand.
Mm-hmm.
If you rob someone by identity theft or portraying something, scamming in a sense, that's for me a crime from the brain, because you're not forcing, you're coercing, or you're persuading someone to give you the money.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to stuff like this, when someone does identity theft, in my belief, personally, I have a big problem with that, with what they do in the future, because it's a mental thing. You've already seen how easy it is. And you think, oh, I can get away if I do these kind of steps. That's
Mm-hmm.
why, for me, in this case, I wouldn't give this guy $1. I probably would have given him an uppercut,
Mm-hmm.
Tyson style.
Yeah, but again, that's you. A lot of people don't have that. And they've been conditioned and brainwashed to
To
put
get a second
themselves
chance.
in a lower position as soon as someone tells them they're a pastor. So if we're talking to each other, just like when we're talking to each other, and I tell you I'm a lawyer. If in your life,
Mhm.
a lawyer is seen as something that's wow, then you're automatically gonna say, "Oh wow, a lawyer," and by doing so, you place me in a higher rank in your life than yourself. Just like, um, but for me, for example, as a lawyer, if another person tells me he's a lawyer, I'm like, okay, hey colleague, like it's nothing like really different. And because in my work, my field of work, I deal with a lot of accountants, tax advisors, all kinds of professionals. I don't really see people like wow, it's like wow, an accountant. But if you're only surrounded by pookies and daydays, then when you do find a lawyer suited up, you will wow. And the same goes for priests and pastors and other spiritual leaders. When someone tells you this is a spiritual leader, and if and especially if it's one that falls into your way of believing, your religion, you will automatically place that person, give the person a high rank in your life.
Mm.
Yeah,
Can this
and
be
this is what
prevented? Actually, so
should
the
be prevented, but it
police.
needs it, but it requires you putting religion in its place. So giving everything in your life the proper place. There is a place for religion, there is a place for spirituality, there is a place for everything, but there's a place for you as well.
Mm.
And you need to place everything in a way that is also beneficial to you. Because if the priester comes and tells you I was a scammer, I've been delivered, I'm not stealing no more, I'm delivered, then in a case like that, in a situation like that, I would be like, good for you, priest. But all the financial side of me, the financial a role, not role, but despite this financial aspect of me, the investor aspect of me will say, I'm not give this guy one penny because I'm not gonna give him anything I can afford to lose.
As a great person once said, ask not what your religion can do for you. Well, ask not what you can do for your religion. Ask what the religion can do for you.
Mhm.
Well, he had the open brain surgery, but then
He
R.I.P.
didn't
to him.
actually say that exactly.
Yeah, he didn't say that exactly. Yeah, that might be true. Another person that got before we go, R.I.P. to his name was James Barnett, I think. Was his name James Barnett? Boeing guy.
Oh yeah.
Not gonna go deep into that. Maybe we talk about it another show, but that's a crazy story. Allegedly, they've been saying so. It's John Barnett, by the way, John Barnett. A good friend of him claimed that they talked about this before, so it's going to continue after this. Crazy story, crazy story. If you read the stories about that whole case, by the way, that it's looking bad for Boeing. But anyway, good luck to everyone, and yeah, R.I.P. to John, man. John was out here whistleblowing, and it's very bad. Talking about finessing, Sean King. Or shall we talk about Kanye first? Let's talk about Kanye first. Kanye and Cenat basically
Yeah.
bumped heads. Pause. Um, Kai basically released a video of him trying out the latest Yeezy shorts, and it didn't fit him as well as you would think. Let me share my screen and play this for you. Let me know what you think about it, RJ.
Mhm.
Oh, 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 oh. By the way, like I always say,
Fair use.
fair use. Shout out to Kai Cenat. Well, I cannot hear myself either. This is not good. Give me a second.
Mhm. Curious to see what he's gonna say because all I can see is his pants dropping.
Second, I was on mute. Can you hear it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let me restart this everything.
Mhm.
Like I said, fair use.
Nigga! Yeah! Bro, this shit is not fitting me, bro! Oh my god, this shit fitting Phantom, bro! Bro, yeah, you supposed to send an extra small. Bro, you supposed to send a small, Dango, not an extra large. Yeah!
That resulted in that video resulted in Ye sending him a video, a DM saying on Instagram, "Don't make no jokes about my clothes when you ain't saying nothing about Adidas. What Adidas is doing." Which we talked. Did we talk about it? Yeah, I think we talked about it.
We did.
Yeah, we did. When Vulture's song came out, you ain't play my verse.
Mm.
You controlled. Yeah, no, it's not you are controlled. You controlled. Don't
You-
play with me. Don't you play with me, boy.
So he's saying that basically Kai is controlled so by whatever. He's like a plant or something probably.
He's saying Kai is probably controlled by
I'm not gonna say what race, what people. We know I can't say that.
Hey, that's
Clear.
Kanye. I'm not saying that he is. I'm just saying that's what he's suggesting.
That's what he suggested in the
That's
past.
what he suggested in the past as well. So yeah, it's and then yeah. So basically, that's the story on this, man. What do you think about this? Was it just a joke, or what? Did Kai just went a bit too far with this one? By the way, some backstory for you: there are only three sizes. You
Three
have
sizes.
There are only three sizes, and it's a jogging. So usually you strap it on. He basically a
Pause.
bit maybe. Well, the problem is it's not when it's strapped on. The problem is if the strap is used on you. But that's another that's not a topic. That's pause worthy. Um, so the case here is maybe he was exaggerating a bit. What do you think?
With he, are you referring to Kai or Ye?
Well, Kai is the one who's exaggerated with the pants, right?
Yeah. So I don't know what size he has. Does seem like it's a big size, so it's probably a large. But if it's like three sizes, that would be the biggest one, I guess. I doubt that that's the smallest one. He's saying that you sent me one. You should have sent me a small or an extra small.
There's no extra small in this one, but okay.
No, but I'm just saying that's what he said.
Yeah,
He said, right? So
that's
my
what he said.
question, but it's not clear to me whether he ordered it or whether Ye delivered it. So that's one thing. Another thing is that by going after Kai, Ye is also creating momentum for his brand. So for his marketing campaign,
Yep.
and as soon as you say Ye versus, let's say Ye versus Kai Cenat, hey, that's a big name. Kai is like a legend right now, right? In the streaming world, in the YouTube world, in the content creation world. And so Ye is probably thinking, huh, if I can't get regular ads, I might as well do it the old way, start beefs and buy sell products. So I don't think it's something to be taken too seriously. I think Kai is also a just like Shannon Sharp. So they're known and they're popular because of the way they react to things. Like Kai is a very expressive person, but I don't think Kai takes it seriously as well either. I don't think it's like a beef for him. I just think it's like a,
A
a back and
response.
forth. It's a back and forth.
At
It's good
least
for both, and it's good for both. It's good for Kai as well, right? I mean,
the
Kai,
truth.
yeah.
One thing he can say about Ye is that he can buy Ye. But okay. Hey, let's go for the
Buy
last
him, my
stop.
nigga. I can buy.
I
Yeah.
can buy you. Let's talk about Sean King, man. Sean King basically revealed that Sean King, for those who don't know, far left activist and one time Christian pastor Sean King has announced that he converted to Islam in solidarity with the Palestinians at the start of Ramadan. King shared a video on Facebook of him and his wife taking the Shahada, professing their faith at the Valley Ranch Islamic Center in Irving, Texas. My heart is with the dearest friends in Gaza, and I'm proud that we are able to provide meals tonight to thousands and thousands of friends and
Mhm.
families from the north to the south of Gaza.
Mhm.
The controversial Black Lives Matter activist once the pastor of Courageous Church in Atlanta between
He was a
2000.
pastor.
He was a pastor. Everyone is a pastor. Everyone is a pastor. It happens to be he's also black. Or I don't know. Maybe he's not black. I don't know what it is, Sean. Come on, man. Let's talk. I'm not gonna continue reading this malarkey, man. Come on.
Yeah.
So the question is this a new finesse? I know we've all
I think
known
it's a finesse. KR, let me stop you right there. I'm
he's
gonna
an
save you. So
ambulance chaser, man. He's an ambulance chaser.
I'm
It's an
gonna save you.
ambulance.
I'm gonna save you. So use your oxygen and time
He's,
wisely.
I want to
This is
rant.
it isn't a rant, but religion is something to be taken seriously. You don't join a religion out of solidarity. Let me put it let me put it differently, man. As soon as someone uses the word solidarity, the first thing that comes to my mind is this guy's trying to get something from me. This guy's trying to take something from me. And Sean has been known to be a taker.
Pause.
So now he is a Muslim, I guess. And I know Muslims. So if of all the religions that I know, Muslims are the ones that I feel practice it the most faithfully and committedly.
Yep.
Uh, his name's Sean King. I don't know if that's his. That's always been his name
Okay, we can Google that.
because
Google
if you
that.
look at Sean King how he was previously,
Not to be mistaken.
I would say that he also joined
on Kingston.
Kingston. Yeah. But I can
Not-
also, I mean, I can also say that I can also argue that he joined the black community out of solidarity
As a white, he was
as a white man.
No, do you recall he came up at the same time as what's her name again?
Yeah. The white woman turned black who is now on OnlyFans.
Well, yeah, that's the only thing she has now. Her name is Rachel Dolezal. He came up at the
Rachel
same time.
Dolezal, yeah.
He was basically preaching on Twitter all his Black Lives Matter talks. And now, let's be honest. The Black Lives Matter talking points has dried up. So what do?
Yep.
You find a new topic to talk about, something that can get you the money. You do some talks, you change your stance a little bit, you adjust your solidarity speech.
He might
And then
change his accent as well.
he might grow a beard a bit longer now.
No.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, don't forget, man. There were
He's-
pictures of him looking like a white kid, and then he was saying, "Yeah, I'm black." So this whole thing, I don't know, dude. This whole thing, I think, I hope not, but it seems like a finesse. This is like,
Actually, yeah, continue.
no. I hope this is not him finessing again, but he seems like the person who goes from one. He's an ambulance chaser. That's all I'll say.
Well, you call it an ambulance chaser. I call him a I would say this.
Ambulance chaser. I'm just kidding.
I'll say this. I think we're seeing. I think this has to be some kind of record that is breaking. I think we're seeing something that we've never seen before.
And that is.
I think we're seeing the first person ever who is reincarnating in one lifetime.
Yo,
Every 6 months.
this dude went from white to black, from Christian to, oh my God.
In 7 years, he'll be a sheep. Survival of the fittest, man.
This is what.
Survival of the fittest, man. Wherever it is.
Hey,
Nah,
man,
man.
good luck to that guy, man. This
Can't
guy,
take this guy seriously. No, I can't.
can't take him serious. And the thing is, I've seen his post being shared on Instagram. I was like, when I saw it, I was like, here we go again. It's
Yeah.
the same stuff. It's
Yeah.
the same stuff with this guy. I'm not gonna disrespect the people that follow him, but they should be disrespected. But I think it's time, RJ.
Yeah, it is. Hey guys, thanks to you for each and every single one of you for tuning in. Whatever your thoughts are, let us know in the comment section below. Rate the show by pressing the like button, share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out when we drop new content. It's been a pleasure to serve you once more, and we'll see each other in the next one. Till next time,
Peace.
peace.
Don't mistake the guy for any relationship with Dr. King. Let's hope. Yeah.